In my distress, I call upon the Lord, and he heard my voice. We heard this as our response today for our psalm. There are favourite psalms that people have. The most favourite perhaps psalm of all is "The Lord is my shepherd." However, the psalms speak to different times, to different situations. Many of the psalms we know were written by King David. Some were attributed to have been written by King David. They might have been written by other people as well. And some are psalms of praise, some are psalms of adoration, and some are psalms during times of great difficulty, during death, during sickness, during times of war, during times of plague. And I think the psalms are something we should turn to at the moment as a form of prayer. If you haven't prayed the psalms for a while, perhaps pick up your Bible today and open to Psalm 17, the psalm that we had today, as our response. It speaks, I think, not just to something of the past. It gives us some of the anguish that we're experiencing now. The waves of death rose about me, the torrents of destruction assailed me, the snares of the grave entangled me, the traps of death confronted me. In my anguish I called to the Lord, I cried to my God for help. We aren't just reading about something that happened in the past. These words of the psalm, these can be our prayer as well, deep from our heart. Yes, these words are many thousands of years old. But God is providing us these words through these previous communities. When they were in anguish, this is the way they cried to the Lord. Pray the Psalms. They are beautiful. Start maybe by opening your Bible today. Maybe write it down right now if you're able to, so that you can pull out what this psalm is and look it over again later in the day. Or if you have a lectionary or a missal, maybe you can find the reading from today and read over this psalm again. God is speaking to us in this time of distress, and he is with us. In my distress, I call upon the Lord, and he heard my voice. When we are in distress, when we are isolated, when we are alone, when we feel like everything is just going to death, to destruction, we turn to God and we cry out. We cry out, and God hears our cries, and God is with us. As we prepare for Holy Week, we have this psalm helping us, and this psalm we know Jesus would have prayed as well. This was a psalm that was often prayed as part of the Passover liturgy. And Jesus would have prayed this and cried out to God for assistance in his journey towards his death. Just after the Last Supper, from what we know of some of the scholars, this psalm was prayed. And we can get a sense of what Jesus was going through and preparing to be arrested, to suffer, and to die. When you feel alone, when you feel isolated, turn to the Psalms. Turn to this one and to others, because we know in our distress we can call to the Lord, and the Lord will hear us.